Hey, everybody, this is Lorraine.
And Jennifer.
And one of the words or one of the phrases that you didn't want to hear when you started your business, and one of the reasons that you started the business was you never wanted someone to say to you, "You fired."
You would think that, but actually part of my sales pitch is I don't do long-term contracts.
Mhm.
And part of my pitch is because you might not like me, I might not like you, and you might want to fire me. And if I'm not bringing you results, please fire me.
Please fire me. And that's a great approach, but a lot of businesses, I think, get trapped into this mode of I have this client, have this relationship, I have this income coming in, and I have to hold on to it forever. And
Yeah.
there are warning signs that maybe you shouldn't.
It's a lot similar to a relationship with like a boyfriend and a girlfriend,
Mhm.
where you hold on to something that you know in your deepest of deep, like this is not going to work out, but I don't want to break it off. I feel like it's the same thing in business, only you have money involved.
Mhm.
And so you don't want to let go, but there's that feeling aspect too. And I think sometimes you're like, well, no, I can do it. I can do it. And you just want to keep going when really, you're probably not a good
Absolutely.
fit.
And so, first off, as a business owner, I think you need to step back and take a look at big picture. What makes a good client relationship? What kind of projects? What kind of people? And so, as you're out there selling, you're looking for those. But then also, when there's one that's not going well,
Yeah.
just throwing more energy at it may not be the solution.
I think what you just said will really help you define who is going to be a good fit and who is not going to be a good fit. And I think of it obviously from a marketing agency standpoint, it's on both people's
Mhm.
ownership.
Mhm.
And what I see happen a lot is people, marketing agencies, maybe say yes to things that they probably should have said no because they don't quite have the skill sets, and then they try to figure it out later. And I think there are situations where that makes sense, but I always try to be honest that, hey, if I'm not good at something, I will tell you, hey,
Mhm.
I've never done that before.
Mhm.
Because also in the marketing world, there's a lot of things changing. So there's going to be things I've never done before. You have to be
Mhm.
okay with that.
Mhm.
But if it's something that like way over in left field, like, hey, I need a professional like video done, storyboard done, I'm
Mhm.
like, nope, that's not me.
Absolutely. But I think it also comes back, it's twofold. It's the work that they want you to do, but it's also the relationship. And I think this is where accountants can relate, attorneys can relate. There are clients that every time the phone rings and your assistant says, Joe Smith is on the phone, every muscle in your body contracts, right?
Yeah.
And we used to do an exercise, and actually it came out of the digital mastermind group that we both belong to, which was if you could only do business with three clients
Yeah.
of all of your customers, which three would you pick?
Yeah.
And forcing yourself to look at that forces you to look at why. Why do I love these clients?
It makes you think about your business model because, quite frankly, I don't care what industry you're in, there's probably several different business models that
Mhm.
will work, and there's not one that's right or wrong. It's what's right for you and what you want. And if you're not thinking about that and you're saying yes to everything, you're causing your team stress, you're causing yourself stress, and you're probably losing money.
Yeah, absolutely. Because the most profitable business is when you can sell more of what you do really well, either to the same customers or
Hmm.
to new customers. And then under that is finding different products and services for your existing customers. But when you can kind of stretch in those directions, it's way more profitable than trying to do a totally different kind of project for a customer you've never worked with before.
And I'm going to challenge people to think about profitability differently, not just dollar. bills because there's profitability in time. And if you have to spend a lot of time and more time, you might be making a lot of money, but you're sacrificing time that you will never get back in life. And you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow.
Mhm.
So, working with like people that you really are a good fit for you, the profitability of your time is
Mhm.
just as important as the dollar bills.
Oh, I totally, totally agree. And I also think that when you are working with a client that is a good fit, you understand their business, you know what they need, you can take care of their needs, you can serve them faster.
Yeah. Yeah.
We had clients that we worked with for 8 and 10 years. Trust me, I was not spending the same amount of time every month with those clients that I had when I was first learning because I knew the drill. I could do things on autopilot. And then with the extra time, I could be creative or I could work on another project
Yeah.
or go sit by the lake.
There you go. I
Mhm.
mean, I think one thing you brought up there was the cringiness that you might feel when you work with someone. And so that's a good sign that, it's not working and you probably, need to see maybe there's a reason why it's cringy and maybe you can work through it, but maybe you're just two different people and like you have different ideas and so it's just not a good relationship. And so you need to think of that, how to professionally like have that exit plan.
The exit plan, the breakup, whether you are terminating an employee or terminating a client,
Yeah.
if you handle it well, and I let clients go over the years. And the funny thing is that when you say, look, personally, I love you, whether or not you do,
Yeah.
personally, I love you, but what you're looking for is not what we do. There's a disconnect. If you can help them find another service provider who is a better fit for them.
Yeah.
I had one client that I fired not once, but twice. And it wasn't, I really liked him. And the funny part of it is he came back and he came back a third time and then stayed with me for 9 years. So the two firings were actually really good because
Yeah.
in most instances, he wasn't listening. He was very focused on something that it wasn't what he should be focused on.
Yeah.
And he was asking us to do things that A, I thought were wrong, and B, really weren't in our skill set. So I recommended here, go work with these people.
There's key things there though that you said, like when you weren't afraid to give what your strategy is
Mhm.
and what you think will work. And when they disagree and they consistently disagree and they're not taking your recommendation, it's just business. Like
Mhm.
it's not, you can't take it personal. I think that's part of the exit strategy too, is you have to just take the emotion out and okay, what's the business decision here to like
Yeah.
make this make sense?
And, you know, in the long run, it is scary to get rid of a client, especially when you're not quite sure where the next opportunity is going to be that will fill that gap.
Yeah.
At the same time, the minute you let go of them, you are freed and you have the time to look for that next great opportunity. And
It's a mental thing that you just have to have confidence in that what you're doing, that
Mhm.
you'll find another. And it's so hard when you're in the middle of it. Oh, but it's worth all this money. But you're like, yeah, but it's not a good fit. You're trying to fit that round peg into a square hole, and it's not going.
And it's not working. Totally, totally, totally. All right. Well, we can talk about this ad nauseum, but I think we're going to fire the audience now. We're going to set you free to go watch something else
There you
and
go.
come back and join us again live next week.
All right. Take care.
Bye now.